to my channel. If you didn't know already, my name is Luisa and I make DIY crochet and sewing videos here on YouTube. I absolutely love inspiring your creativity and helping you to create beautiful pieces that you can then give to other people or put as accents around your home. I just love to give you a time to either be in your own headspace or to spend it with friends and do these projects together and inspire conversations. And I really hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Something that I really want to mention that I hope that you understand is that I do not want to take credit for the core of this crochet pattern. The reason being is that I actually really needed something to go above my couch as kind of like the center statement piece in the wall decor above my living space. And I really wanted it to be something that was crocheted, so I found this written tutorial from a lady. I will make sure to leave the link down below. It has the entire written pattern. I couldn't find any pattern that was visual for this particular design, so that is why I am doing my interpretation of it. I'm also adding some details so that we can hang it onto the wall and use it as a wall piece, and that is why I'm making this tutorial. I'm not trying to steal her work in any way, shape, or form, and I want to make sure that you all know that I do not take credit for this pattern. I am just recreating it and putting it into a visual form instead of the written form of the crochet pattern, and then I'm adding my touch so that we can mount it on the wall later. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I wanted to show you the yarn that I'm using. It's the Bernat blanket yarn. I really love this yarn for my chunkier yarns because I think it's so soft and it's a great yarn to work with. And I'm also going to be using an 11.5 millimeter hook. And starting off, I'm going to create my slip stitch and then I'm going to chain 8. Then I'm going to find the first stitch. I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch to join the circle. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to double crochet 17 times into this ring and slip stitch to join it together when we're done. And we have chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. So I am going to slip stitch into that chain right there. And there we go. We've combined, or we linked up the circle. All right, now what I'm going to do is I am going to chain 4, and I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch, and I'm just going to go into the center right here. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way along. Okay, so I did the double crochet into each space. There are 18 total. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top stitch to join the circle. Now what we're going to do is slip stitch into the next stitch. So essentially 2 slip stitches right here. And then we are going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets into the chain space. So this one right here, we're going to do 1, and then we're going to do 2, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets into each remaining chain space all the way around. Alright, so once you've gone all the way around, you should have 54 stitches. I am going to slip stitch to join, and that's in the 3rd stitch from at the beginning. So we have 1, 2, 3. I am just going to slip stitch real quick. We're going to chain 1, single crochet into the first stitch, half double crochet into the 2nd, double crochet into the 3rd, and then we're going to chain 3. I am going to mark the first stitch that we made just because it's starting to get to a point where it doesn't really stick out as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next 3 double crochets that we made in the row before, and we're going to do the same exact thing, and we're going to do that all the way around. So we're going to do a single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and then we're going to chain 3 and start over. Now I want to show you what to do next. I got back to the very beginning and I have my chain 3. I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet that we made. I'm going to slip stitch into the double crochet that we made, so that's right here. And then I'm going to single crochet into the chain 3 that we made. So we have 1 single crochet, and then we're going to chain 5. And now I'm going to single crochet into the chain space that we had where we chained 3. So I'm going to single crochet into this spot, then I'm going to chain 5, and then I'm going to single crochet into the next chain 3 that we made on the last one, and you're just going to single crochet into each chain 3 all the way around, and I'll meet you back when I finish. Alright, so we made it all the way back around. Here's the last single crochet that I made into the chain space of 3. I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch, and then I'm going to chain 5, and I'm going to single crochet into this chain space. Then I'm going to chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet. You're going to do that all the way around until we get back. Alright, so I did my last chain 5 and single crochet. I've gotten back to the beginning. What I'm going to do now is just keep this stitch in mind as our beginning stitch. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to double crochet into that beginning stitch. Now what I'm going to do is chain 1, then what I'm going to do is single crochet into this chain 5, then I'm going to chain 5 and then single crochet again. So single crochet, chain 5, and then single crochet. I'm going to make sure that I remember where I left off, so this double crochet is the first, technically considered the first or the joining stitch. So I'm going to mark that. Then I'm going to chain 1, and I am going to go to the next chain 5 space. I'm going to single crochet, chain 5, and then single crochet, and then chain 1. And I'm going to continue doing that all the way around until I get back to the spot that I first made that first stitch, and then I will meet back up with you. Alright, we've made it all the way back around. I did my single crochet into this chain space, but I didn't chain 1. I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to slip stitch into that beginning stitch. So now we've made it full circle, and we're going to move on to round 8. And I'm going to slip stitch into this chain space right here. I'm just going to slip stitch to kind of bring everything together. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch into this chain 5 that we started off with, and then I'm going to single crochet. I'm going to chain 6, and then I'm going to mark that slip stitch that we made into this initial space so that we know where we left off. And then I am going to single crochet into the next chain 5 that we made before on the previous round. So a single crochet right here. And then we're going to continue doing that. Chain 6, single crochet into the next loop, chain 6, single crochet into the next loop, go all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and I'll meet you there. Alright, then we are going to chain 6 for the very last time. And then we're going to slip stitch into the stitch that we started in. Then we are going to chain 3, and I am going to do 5 double crochets into this loop. Okay, so here are my 5 double crochets into this chain space. We are going to do 1 double crochet into that single crochet space that we made from before. So here's 1 double crochet. And then we're going to continue doing that all the way around. So we're going to do 5 double crochets, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet into that spot that we connected in the last round. In this last loop right here, we're going to do 6 double crochets instead of 5, and I'll meet you back at this point. Now what we're going to do is join it together. I'm going to count up 3, so we have 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to slip stitch to join. So now what I'm going to do is chain 1. I'm going to single crochet into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. Here's my single crochet. I'm going to half double crochet into the next stitch. I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to continue in this manner all the way around, where I'm just going to single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, chain 3. Okay, so I've gotten to the very end. I have my chain 3 and the original stitch that I left off on. I do have one more stitch, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet into that stitch, just like I would as I was going along, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the original, the starting stitch. I'm going to slip stitch all the way up to this loop, and then I'm going to single crochet into the loop, chain 5, single crochet in the loop again, and I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'll show you exactly what I do. So I am going to slip stitch all the way up. I'm going to single crochet once into the chain space. Then I'm going to chain 5, and I'm going to single crochet into this next loop that we made from the row before. And I'm just going to continue chaining 5, and then single crochet into the chain space, chain 5, single crochet. Alright, so I've come all the way back full circle. What I'm going to do is chain 5, and I am going to slip stitch it with the first single crochet that we made into this chain space. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into that stitch. Now this stitch is the one that we left off on, and I'm going to single crochet into this chain space. I'm going to chain 5 and single crochet into the next loop. Chain 5, single crochet into the next loop, go all the way around, and I'll meet you back where we started. Alright, we've made it all the way back around. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to double crochet into the first single crochet that we made. So I chain my 2, I'm going to double crochet into that spot to anchor it down. And let's get started on the next round. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to double crochet 3 times into this loop. I'm going to do 4 double crochets into this next loop right here, and in every single one of the chain spaces that we just created all the way around, I'm going to create 4 double crochets into those chain spaces all the way around, and I'll meet you back right here. Alright, so we've gotten all the way back around, and I am going to count up 3 chains right here, and I'm going to join this side with this side by creating a slip stitch. So I am just going to slip stitch into that chain space and combine it all around.